kink is truly art. So I'm at the manor, and they have a wooden cross, right? And but it's a sit down cross, totally made of wood. It's brand new. I've never seen it before, and
Mhm.
it's right in the center where the couches that we sit and kind of sunshine. I kind of look out and see this beautiful like mosaic of kink, all these different kink stations. It's magnificent. There's a St. Andrew's cross. There's a spanking bench. There's a medical table. There's a someone, a suspension rig, all within my view when I'm sitting there.
Mhm.
And I'm on this cross. My goddess, I'm in garter belt stockings, lock and chastity. But I come in the suit. She strips me down. This is what's underneath, ties me to the cross, and I'm there. And then she doms someone else while I'm just hanging there. And I'm
Wow.
thinking to myself, my arms are on a wooden cross and they're hung up by, rope. And it's so much. Shout out to Toad. He comes up to me and says, Nick, you look like a Renaissance painting, you
Oh.
know? So, with that being said, I like to say kink is art. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nicholas Tannick. This is your kinky friends. We are honored. We are honored to have someone with us. And before I introduce her, I want to say that everything we talk about is consensual. We're adults. We're consenting adults. We talk about consensual role play. It's role play. Tobey Maguire is not really Spider-Man. You know what I mean? It's Christian Bale's not really Batman. Um, seriously, it's role play. We're adults. This is a lifestyle. This is a culture. Don't judge. Seriously, don't judge. That's why you're alone. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome that Miss Quinn. How are you?
I'm great. You mentioned Batman. I spent a lot of time watching Batman, rewatching Batman movies today. So
Yes.
all that leather.
So tell me, what's inspiring you these days?
Oh man, what's inspiring me these days? I go on walks a lot with my dog. That's very inspiring. Out in the
It
fresh
is.
air, just
I.
feeling the sun on my face.
It is beautiful. No, I don't. Like, no one should just toss that away, brush that off. It's beautiful. My dog Moki is on the cover of my book, The Coolest Way to Kill Yourself, and is also on the cover of Cujo, the a punk rock band called Kujo. Moki lives on. So
Oh,
I have a love for dogs, and there's a certain sense of tranquility and comfort. The fact that you have the luxury to walk a dog. It's just walking around, have time for yourself, and the bonding experience. What's your dog's name?
Gideon.
Gideon. Reminds me of Joe Gideon from All That Jazz, the Bob Fosse movie. All right, you quoted Oscar Wilde,
Yeah,
one of my favorites.
yeah.
You will always be fond of me. I
Mhm.
represent to you all the sins you had never had the courage to commit.
Yeah, I have that on like my main feed when I do live streams.
Yeah,
And people are like they either recognize it as a wild quote or they don't. They're just like, "What does that mean?" Or like, "What are you going to share with me?" And I'm just like, "Oh, wouldn't you like to know?"
okay, so let's talk about phone sex. I know you through the Magnificent Women of Pep Love.
Yes, I
And,
have been. I've been with Pep since 2021. They've
yes,
been very generous to have me uh, as one of the ladies, but I have loved phone sex pretty much my whole life. So, um,
what was your first phone sex call, in your opinion?
it was with a boyfriend, and I was way more into it than he was.
Oh,
Yeah, like I found out later that he was like just pretend to be into it for so I know what that's like. That's hurtful. That is so hurtful. And so the fact that I get to do this like as part of my job is wonderful. But yeah, like I really know how painful it is when somebody just is like, oh yeah, that's great. This is awesome. And you're over there having the best time ever and the other person's just not with it. Like
Yeah.
that's painful. And I
So what
can't
do you do in that situation? How do you like do you kind of edgelord them? Like say some wild shit just to see if they're paying attention? Like, oh yeah, and your mom comes
well, no,
in.
not back then. But
Your principal from your high school comes in.
oh goodness. But yeah, no, I still love phone sex. Like, and it's been explained to me that some people are afraid to talk on the phone these days, and that is so weird to me.
It is. I love
like
the
just
phone.
have a conversation or just to call someone to get information. But like, no, I love talking on the phone.
I grew up at a time where it was before the internet. I'm dating myself. You know, I'm pushing 50. I'm almost 50. 50 in August. But it was a time where being on the phone was the social. If we couldn't go out, we didn't have
Yeah.
cars. So the only thing we could do is like three-way call everybody, and then three-way call someone else with that three call, then like make prank calls together, you know, or just do weird stuff. So let me ask you this: with all the people you talk to, what is the most surprising thing about human desire that you've learned from phone sex? And before you answer, just so you know, throughout the show, I could take myself.
Oh my gosh.
Put myself back in. So I'm going to take myself out for this. What is the most surprising thing about human desire that you've learned from phone sex work?
That's a really great question. That like forget all of this loudness and this ridiculousness. People just want to be heard and like have a space to be understood. Yeah, like no matter what's going on in their lives and how crazy their life is or how boring they might think their life is, everybody just kind of wants to be understood and find connection with somebody else.
That is beautiful. I was writing it down. I was late to come back to the studio because I was busy writing it down because I put quotes in. And that's an excellent quote. That's what more so than ever. I think people just want to be heard and want to have a place, you know, to be. Oh my God, I can't even read my handwriting. You just said it. To be, what is it?
To be understood and
understood. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, my you. All right, so let's talk about Pep Love. Any updates, changes to Pep Love so far? That before we get into what's going on.
Updates and changes.
Yeah, like what's the latest on Pep Love? Do you know? Is there any news or is it business as
Well,
usual?
we're gonna take a little break from March 7th through the 13th. Everybody's gonna take some time to like rest and renew, and come back stronger than ever on the 14th of March. It's like right before my birthday, so that's kind of exciting for me.
When I started interviewing people, one of the first people I interviewed was Amy Mercury because I met her while I was promoting Your Kinky Friends, the book.
She told me that, yeah.
And she such a gracious, creative, magnificently creative individual. I mean, blown away. The Orc Girl. Everybody, if you love graphic novels, comics, Orc Girl is insanely beautiful and creative. The drawing is amazing. The story's fun. It's great. She's part of the YKF author circle. But I started promoting the book, and I just started interviewing people. She was one of the ones, and then she turned me on and introduced me to Sarah, and then I was blown away by Sarah has her Miles, the CEO of Pep Love, in my opinion, has this kind of light inside of her. You know what I mean?
Really
where you can't help but see it, and when you see it, it makes you want to shine yourself. You know what I mean? There are a lot of people in this world who like that. I like to think. I hope I try to be that kind of person. You know what I mean? So how did you meet her?
Well, I actually also met her through Amy. I originally met Amy Mercury at 2016 Fetish Con, and we had shot together, and she came over to she was staying in town after the convention, and I was like, hey, why don't you come to my house and we hang out, but also make more fun content. We made a bunch of like clown videos and stuff at my house. And so we've been good friends ever since. Very good friends. Very good friends. Not just friends. But anyway, she's wonderful people. And she had started working for Pep, and I was like, this sounds really cool. Like, she was telling me about it, and I was like, but I don't think, I was like, I would love to work there too, but I'm not there yet. So that was like 2017, 2018, and fast forward to 2021, and they had me there, and I met, I got to, like, Sarah hired me, and then I think I met her technically like the next year in person. And you're absolutely right. Like, she does have like this light about her. Like, when I first met her, I was like in the room with her and gave her a hug. It felt like I had known her forever. And it was just so welcoming. And
so
I got to,
Amy turned you onto it. And then, what was it like transitioning? Because this is did you do anything like this professionally before?
Yeah, I've been since 2012. I have been a like erotic live streamer and video creator and performer of fetish for quite a while. So I kind of liked that it was, I started in 2012 and started with Pep Love in 2021. So like, just flop the numbers. And so yeah, it's new because Pep Love, you're not as limited as you are with like everything else, with like making video content or live streaming. Like you can just be more open about things. Like, you don't have to constantly be like, oh my gosh, did they say the wrong thing? Am I gonna get fired because somebody said something that was, against X, Y, and Z site rules or something? Like, it takes that stress away, and you can just be a person.
And it's also one thing I'm interested about this, like the service, if you'd say it. It's people, like you were saying, talk. People, good old fashioned conversation.
Yeah.
It's back, so to speak. So what, in your opinion, what makes Pep Love different from other phone sex?
Well, all the photos are actually of us ladies.
That's true.
It's not, everything's in a timely fashion as well. So it's not like, oh, this is from 50 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's been around since the 90s. So this is 30 years ago pictures. Like, no, they're all within like the last 3 to 5 years pictures. We had a lot of fun. There's a lot of new ones coming out all the time. So stay tuned.
And you get creative too. The ladies get very creative. I'm trying to get a fundraiser going where, check this out. You might like this, actually. Trying to play. We're up for it. Let's make this happen, people. Where we do a live call. We charge it, we pay tickets, but where I am, the story of O, Pauline Riage.
Of course.
You familiar with that?
Yeah.
Yes. What if we switch it, right? So I am sold off from each caller, right? I'll see each caller, and then we like, seriously, let's make that happen. Everybody makes money, and everybody. So that's fun.
Sorry, I have to say this. You mentioned Story of O, and I can't like not say this. I liked the movie version ending more than the novel.
How? Refresh my memory. I know she goes back to Wussie, and she transforms into the bird. For those who don't know, The Story of O by Pauline Riage is a book, a novel, basically, and it's kind of like an introduction for a lot of people to real, sadomasochism.
I read it in college the first time.
And it's and it's that inspired this, basically. I would say very
so it's heavily implied, at least when I read it, my interpretation of it, it's heavily implied that Sir Stefan like gives her up, kind of, and like doesn't care if she just commits suicide afterwards. Like, it's implied that she's very unhappy about being given up by him. But in the movie, you know, they kind of stay together, and she was like, well,
Yeah.
sir, would you go through all the things that you put me through? And he's like, well, you know, of course I would. And she takes her like little cigarette holder thing and takes the thing out of it and burns him. So it's got her little O initial, and it zooms in, and like that, it ends, and it's beautiful music. And I was just like, yes.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I agree. Yeah, you're right. I have a more of an emotional or more of a visual reaction from the film than I did from the book. You know what's fun about the book was reading it and showing it to other people to get ideas and be like, we should do this, or maybe, or no, that's bad. Yeah. Shout out to Ariana Stooney. She would not be mad that I mentioned her. She's a literary, she's a poet, and she gave me that book. She had started me. Yeah, wonderful.
I don't remember what got me, how I found that book. It just
that's a good question. How did you find the story of O?
Yeah, I honestly don't remember. Like, I think maybe I was just doing internet research or something. Sometime in college. All
right, let's get back to Pep Love.
Yeah.
There's the typical, you know, calls, naughty mom, babysitter, secretary. You know, that's the stereotypical ones. But people like, especially you and Amy, get you're pretty wild and pretty just creative.
It's fun when they also bring the creativity to it as well. Lately, it has been, for me, it's been mostly like people wanting to re-experience something that they really, really enjoyed from, you know, usually when they're younger, or like maybe when they were in college. They just want to role play it as if it's happening again with me, or they're just telling me about it, like very, you know, very passionately. That's what it's been mostly lately. And like, I love that. I love hearing those personal stories. I like sharing my own too. So like, you know, it's definitely a give and take on their end as well as mine. Like I enjoy that part of it as well. I know some people don't do that. Like, I totally understand. That's totally fine. I'm just talking about what I do.
Now that you mention it, now that you put it that way, I'm wondering, the Kink community. I mean, I just came from a party, and a lot of in the Kink community, people are trying to one up each other. Trying to one up each other with how kinky they are. Sure. Oh, you. Oh, well, I've been on the rack for 8 hours. It's not you been, you know, or whatever. I'm kinkier than you. Does that happen on the calls? Do like they try to out kink you?
Sometimes, yeah, and like, you just got to kind of let them do their thing. Like, unless they really, because some people, they don't really want to be out kinked. Like, they want to be like, well, you know, this is the kinkiest thing since sliced bread or whatever. And you're just like, okay. I mean, everybody has different experiences for like, I mean, you know, what I might think is kinky is different than somebody else's kinky. So it just depends on your life, really.
Speaking of, I'm going to take a total non sequitur here, and you'll find out why. Bear with me. I'll feed you, baby bird. There's a guy at the Manor every once in a while who comes, Mr. Manor, shout out to Mr. Shari, Catnip, Peyton, everybody at the Manor. I love you all. Oh, Lynx, Briscoe, Messy, and of course, Sunshine. So, yeah, but there's a person who comes down with a rubber chicken. Now, I notice you have a rubber chicken in the background.
I do have a rubber chicken.
Mimpy asked the question, do you use that rubber chicken to a sub?
The rubber chicken, I'll say what I usually say on live streams. People are like, what is the chicken for? It's a talking point for my clown fetish. It's also funny because everybody loves a well-hung cock. Or, you know, if you're doing a live stream with me, you're usually choking your chicken. But it also makes a really great spanking device, which can be, you know, fun and playful, or it can be, this is the worst thing ever. Please stop now. I have experienced giving and receiving the activity from the rubber chicken as a spanking device. So, yes. Great question.
Chicken. Yeah. All right, let's get down to it. What are some challenges? Okay. new kind of calls. Double teaming a pep call. Do you and Amy Mercury double team? You double clown? You double clown callers?
We could, yeah.
So what are the key elements to double teaming on a pep call?
Oh,
And who do you do it with? If you ever do it, like, do you ever do it?
Amy and I have yes, and myself and Miss Giselle have, myself and Miss Daisy have, and Miss Cherry. We've only done it one time, but it was very fun. It's easy to sometimes the ladies will like talk to each other a little too much. So it's like, I recommend if you ever give yourself a treat yourself to a double call with any of us, don't be nervous. Don't let us end up just talking to each other. We gotta remind you that you're there. Like, you're there too. It's a three-way, not a.
It's funny that you say that, because some people, there is a fetish, not just like voyeurism, but kind of just being a fly on the wall.
Yeah,
And
I mean, that can happen
when
too.
I
That's fun.
when I
But
started the show, I was talking about hanging from the cross. Well, I wasn't hanging; I was sitting. It's a
yeah,
chair,
sitting.
but it's a cross. And it's made out of wood. It's beautiful. And for a lot of the night, I was just watching. So that means, like, some people there were lulls in the night, and some was very incredibly active. There were lulls. So I understand that. I understand it. Some people, sometimes it's just nice to just watch. So the person just listening, they may be loving that. Let me ask you this: how is AI changing phone sex?
How is AI change? I'm not
I
phone
gotta take
sex
myself
itself. I'm
out
not
of
quite sure. I think like for how is it? Oh my gosh, that's tough because I try not to mess with the AI too much. Like, unless, like, some of those chat bots, though, when I have been bored in the evenings on my own, they've advanced a lot. I'll say I'm a little nervous. I don't know if we'll still have jobs. The AI's
Yeah,
getting too good.
I am. I'll tell you right now. I mess around with like Grok. I don't, not for horny purposes or anything like that.
I don't think,
But
does it even allow that? I don't.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
There, look, we can do it right now.
Oh my God.
There. Oh, first, before let's take a moment before we
Oh.
get real fun. Tell us about Wolf's health and cancer.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. Sorry. Segue. So not as much. In 2019, my spouse, I'm sure like the people that have followed me over the years like noticed that I don't really work as with many different people as I used to. I don't travel as much, and it's kind of a bummer. But in 2019, my spouse got diagnosed with cancer, and we kind of made like it's kind of like a dark joke now, but like since then we have made kind of a joke that we were quarantining before everybody else, like in 2019, because of you got to be really careful when you're going through chemotherapy and stuff like that. And then the last 5 years, his health has kind of declined with different issues like Parkinson's, and his Crohn's disease is getting severe. So we have had a GoFundMe up for that since 2019. So it's been up for quite a while. And honestly, if it wasn't for our friends and people sharing it, like, we would have lost him. So I'm eternally grateful for people to continue sharing that if you can, or donating. That's really, really wonderful. And thank you to everyone that has over the years, because it's literally saved our lives. So thank you for that.
And thank you for sharing this,
Yeah.
because this is what the kink community is about. Kink helps kink.
Yeah.
Especially in these times, we're all we have.
Yeah.
We are, for many people, kink and the kink culture, they're your family. We have to help each other out, and because some people say they're trying to make us extinct, but still, they're trying. And with that, let's have some fun. So let's go here. I'm sorry to take this out. Let's go to Grok. So I tried it, right? So can you see that? Is it on the screen?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see it.
Okay, so role play. I have a clown fetish, and you are a dominatrix who is a clown.
Oh no. Oh, I've never used this one, so I don't know what.
See what it says. Oh no.
Oh no.
Authorize that. Oh no, I have it on. I did it on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Here, I did it on my phone, and this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
what it says. Here, I can
Okay.
even show it to
Oh
you,
my
so
gosh,
it's
it's
real.
such a really long thing.
Oh yeah, I'll read it to you.
Oh my gosh. Should I
I'll
read
read
it
it
in
to
my clown voice?
Yes, please.
Well, look who stumbled into my big top dungeon. I'm Mistress Chuckles, your polka dotted queen of pain and laughter. My red nose isn't just for show, it's a warning. Oh my god, this is so great. It's a warning, darling. You got a clown fetish, huh? Well, this is perfect. Okay, we have to stop. I'm getting too excited. That's awesome. Damn it! So now they're gonna just talk to the AI instead of calling me.
No, I mean, shout out to my friend
That was
Starla
great.
Vamp. Shout out to my friend Starla Vamp. She's a femdom bride up in Canada. I love you, Starla. Yeah, when this was before, I know talked to a lot of kinky people, but she was all on that, making AI like characters and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
really trying to get inspired that you can be fun. It can be used to.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like I'm not one of those that's like, oh, I think it's terrible. Like not at all. I don't know. Like I said, I've played around with the chatbots for like a year off and on, and it's advancing like really quickly. So it's kind of freaking
That was so
out.
good, though. Thank you so much for doing that. That was so from daughter to
Oh
nasty
dear. Oh
cousin.
gosh.
You could be a daughter to nasty cousin.
This
So
is
what are some?
purely for the pep love stuff, guys. Everything
Yeah,
else is you can't really do that.
yeah, but in not just in pep love, but in general, with all the performance, streaming, all the stuff like that. What are some of the most popular fetishes and kinks that callers specifically want from you? Because everyone's different, right? Everyone's different. So what do they want
Well,
from you?
like I'm more known as like the clown girl. That's because I started. It was about a year after I started making videos for people. Like I said, I started in 2012, and it was like 2013ish that I was like, look, I really wanted to kind of explore my own clown thing because I knew it was a thing. I just didn't. I had never explored it. I had never. Uh, tried it. And so I talked to my spouse about it. He's like, you can do whatever. I support you. Like whatever you want. Like, I'm sorry, this is very sweet. I got to talk about this real quick. So I started doing the clown thing, like just playing around with videos and with makeup. And I was like encouraged by other like clown kind of performers. Sorry, this kind of went off the other topic.
No, we're going right into it. It's a perfect segue.
Okay. Like I was really supported by my friend Kitsy Clown as well as Vita Devoid. They were just like, oh my gosh, you should do it. Have so much fun. And so my spouse spent like all night on YouTube learning how to make balloon animals. And I woke up like the next day and the whole living room was covered in balloon animals. It was so sweet. Like I was just like, this is the sweetest thing ever. I'm going to cry. And like, there was like just pink elephants everywhere. It was so cute.
So let me ask you this: what is appealing to you personally about clowns?
Well, I like being one.
Okay.
I like you can kind of hide under it. Like I used to use it to hide, like not in a bad way, but just I felt like there were certain things that I couldn't do unless I had like full face of makeup on. It was just, and I don't really need it as much as I used to. Like I still love it. But like what attracted to me it originally is that I felt like I could just really do anything as the clown. And that was awesome.
Yeah.
I got really into like as far as like the little like stories and the videos that I would make is I would like turn other people into clowns, and it was really fun, like putting like face paint on them, and we would do it like the videos would be like a think of it like a transformation scene in a horror movie or something. Like somebody turns into a werewolf, but they're turning into a clown instead. And so it's funny and horny and because I mean, porn and sex and everything is really so ridiculous. And it's I wish people didn't take it so seriously. So it's like just smile about it. It's fine. We're here to have fun.
Now, speaking, I have to bring this up before I forget. Do you know anything about Aqua Teen Hunger Force's episode called The Clowning?
It's so funny. I don't think I've actually seen that episode. Do they all become clowns? Because I didn't
it's about
it's not something that I watched very often. Like I remember
about
like a couple episodes, but
it's about the horror of like becoming forced to become a clown.
They do that in the show. Oh man.
Yeah, like you can't I can't stop doing. He can't stop doing clown stuff. His feet grow big and stuff like that. He can't stop honking the horn. Like he can't. And then we'll talk about more clown stuff. But how do you design your own clown costume? Because I mean, there's the generic thing. You could just be clowny, but then there's you. You have your own signature. You have your own style.
Yeah, like the purple clown. I haven't come up with like a new. Well, that's not true. Actually, I have like my purple clown and like the ringleader clown. A new one that she's been in my head for like 5 years, but I finally put her together. So she's like a sexy, evil version of Ronald McDonald that wants everybody to be fatter and eat more food. And she's got like fangs and talks kind of weird. Like it's not the high cute voice like this. It's more like keep eating all the food, you know, like kind of thing. It's creepy. I don't know.
Okay, so Rob Zombie, Insane Clown Posse, IT. I mean IT. I was doing it. I said IT. Good God, Terrifier. I'm just reading. Yeah. So, but like all these, that's what I think of when I think of clowns. Honestly, because of pop culture. That's just honestly pop culture.
It's fun.
What do you automatically think of when you think of clowns?
When I think of clowns, because for me it goes back to like what I watched when I was a kid. I'm gonna be 37 like next month, so 90s Nickelodeon was special for me. Like the tons of clown imagery in like the Rugrats, Rocko's Modern Life, Our Real Monsters. Those cartoons were a big deal. And Beetlejuice, of course. So like I just think about the silly stuff from those shows, and like the slime or whatever. I really wanted to be slimed, and to me that kind of goes hand in hand with clowning.
I always thought Amy Mercury said it best. You know, I remember when I met Amy Mercury, it was at a time when there were creepy clown sightings all over the U.S.
Yep, 2016. I got a lot of emails like, are you doing this? Is this part of your And I was like, I wish.
Funny. And she goes, I don't want to scare anybody. I just want to make balloon animals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that helped me. Like that was because I was in the thick of the like really making like clown stuff then, and people like it did well. It was doing well. It was doing really well. People were like freaked out. I would get emails pretty often asking if I was a part of that. And speaking of that, actually, there's a book series that I've been reading. I need to because I do have I don't do it as often but I have a YouTube series called Clown Girl Talks, where my clown character talks about clown related movies and or books or cartoons or whatever show that for some reason has a clown in it, which I clearly need to do the Aqua Teen Hunger Force. But there is a series called Clown in the Cornfield, and it's getting a movie that's coming out, I think, in May. But the main character's name is also Quinn, but it's Quinn with twins. So I'm like, interesting. But one of the things that inspired him, Adam Caesar, to write that book series is because of the creepy clown sightings in 2016. So that's fun.
Oh, And someone texted me a question. What is your opinion of the song The Mighty Quinn? And do you have a favorite version?
I like it when people try to sing it to me. I don't actually have a favorite version. People type it or to me on live stream too, because I was like, I don't know what they're talking about, but at least they're having a good time.
It's a great song. It's a great song. I check out Corner Shop. Corner Shop is a great version of it. Yeah. Yeah, it's a great song. It's actually I used that song when I was sick. I kind of used that song in recovery, because it's a song about a person who could do things, get stuff done, and and you rely on,
Yeah.
I strive to be a person like that, so it's like that song, like a song like that, just having the background gives that good energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
well, thank you for the question.
Is there a clown fetish community? I mean, obviously,
absolutely.
Tell us about it.
I would like to think that I helped people be more open about it. Like after I started making clown related videos, like with friends, and then just doing kind of my own thing, people would email me and like either they wanted to get a custom or they were just like, this is so cool that you're doing this. Like, I really like this. And also the people that made like the clown porn like got a hold of me and were like, we used to do this. This is so cool that you're still doing it. I'm like, thank you. I think there absolutely is, and
that's beautiful. I just have to say that kinky people have to stick together. Clowns stick together. That's how Insane Clown Posse got huge. Think about it.
It's so funny. I've actually never listened to them, and I've heard they're like great people. I think their clown faces are ugly. And I think like somebody played me one of the, this was like forever. This was before I ever got into like fetish work or anything. Like somebody just played me one of their songs. Like, God, it must have, I don't know. It was a long time ago, but I was like, this is just so angry. So I have
it's not my style.
I
no offense to juggalos. I respect the fact that the freedom, they're like, I'll do the fuck up, like, and there's a camaraderie. And I totally like, yeah, I'm up for that.
Yeah, but I've heard like really good things about them. Like, I'm sure they're great people.
I've never met a juggalo who I've never met a juggalo who like did me wrong. Let's put it that way. Doesn't mean I want to listen to Insane Clown Posse. There's other music out there. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. All right. So how do other clowns react to your? You answered that one. What do you think people? What do you think? What do you think people draws people into the clown fetish? Is it humor? Is it absurdity? Is it something deeper? I mean, like for example, before you answer the cross-dressers, a lot of cross-dressers like cross-dressing not just because it's a gender thing, just because they literally like the feeling of it,
Yeah.
So is that a part of it as well?
I think it can be.
Okay.
Like the putting on the makeup and picking out all your clothes, and it's so much fun, and it's just an escape from like the face you look at every day, and that can be really powerful. Definitely humor, absurdity, like I was saying earlier, that just like porn and sex and everything sometimes is just so serious. And even kink can be so serious to the point.
Oh God,
and it's that's kind of like what originally, like when I was younger, like kind of turned me off to the idea of like sex in general, because it just seemed so serious and like the way it was presented to me. But it's like, no, it's supposed to be silly. You're supposed to have fun. You're supposed to smile. But I think with clowning also is that because so many people are afraid of clowns, like that's fun. That can be fun. Like I had a moment, there is I'm not a sadistic person usually.
Okay.
But there was this was a few years back, there was this model that was at my house, and we were just doing making regular fetish videos together. Like we made some for her, we made some for me, and all she did, we were sitting kind of on a couch, and she kind of looks over and she looks at my closet and she sees a polka dot top that's clearly a clown top, and she's like, oh my God. She started shaking, and I was like, I saw because I thought she was joking, but she was really absolutely terrified. And so I was like, look, can I just stand next to you in my clown gear? And she let me. And she was shaking to the, like, she was sweating and crying. And I had never been so turned on in my entire life. That she was so scared of me. And, you know, I washed it all off. Everything was fine. I hugged her, gave her some nice aftercare afterwards. And then eventually, like months later, I begged her to let me put clown makeup on her face and then made her look at it. And that was evil, but also very fun. So.
All right. Let's. Okay. There were some people who had some questions. Have you tried mime stuff before? Mimpy asked.
I like to talk too much for that. I do have. I've done a couple like videos as a mime, but that's one thing that's very fun about Art the Clown from the Terrifier, well, from All Hallows Eve and the Terrifier movies.
And Terrifier, yeah.
Really commits to the bit of being quiet, and it just makes me so happy. So now I haven't. I like my clown voice way too much to talk.
Did you see 3?
I did.
What did you think of 3? Terrifier 3.
It was fun. I did. Yeah. I liked that it was like Christmas. And
I didn't see it yet. I saw this the second one. I heard it's a little longer than
it is a bit longer. Yeah. I did a Clown Girl Talks review of it. You know, like right after it came out. I thought it was a lot of fun. I was spoilers, I guess, if you haven't seen it. There's like kind of a really hardcore demonic possession scene in it, and I was not expecting that. I don't really know. I don't know. I think it just got me on I was just like, oh my gosh, like, whoa, you're really going for it. I wasn't expecting that in the Killer Clown movie.
So who is the best horror clown?
Oh my gosh, I think I'm legally not allowed to answer that. They're all.
Let me throw some out there.
I mean,
there's the ones I think of.
Pennywise, obviously.
There's Pennywise, but I also think of Terrifier, of course. Art the Clown, Terrifier. Yeah,
Art the Clown is fun.
Sid Haig, the Devil's Rejects, and you know, like he almost holds a special place in my heart. You know what I mean? Yeah, as horrible as he is. So, who are some other clowns we should look out for?
Oh my gosh. So when I started doing my Clown Girl Talk series, like I watched so much, because I didn't realize that there was as many clown horror movies as like that exist. Like there's so many, and there's so many that are like they're so low budget, but it's just really fun. Killjoy is a really great. Killjoy is a really good one. I think the last one I watched was the Killjoy Goes to Hell. And, there's a sexy clown chick in that one. Oh my goodness. There's.
Oh my God, I love your voice acting. Stan Vladimir says.
Sorry, what?
Stan Vladimir says, "Oh my God, I love your voice acting."
Thank you.
He also asked, "Do you live stream on other platforms?"
I only live stream currently on StreamMate. I've been there since 2013. So you know, because I know people are like, oh, you should just do like not sexy live stream, just do like a regular live stream. I was like, what would I do with myself? Like I have all this. What are you supposed to do if you're not you know, having a fun adult time? I know the world's different now. It's been so like I started in 2012, and things that people are just doing all sorts of stuff on the internet now. It's maybe so, I don't want to say never, but
you're a very playful person. I need whimsy in my life.
Yeah, I do. You gotta have whimsy.
I like seriously. I need it in my life.
It's so bleak out there, man.
There are so many people who are not whimsical at all. They don't get the joke. Let's put it that way. So how do you find, you know, there's that. How do you find a balance of whimsy and just everyday life, but also with eroticism, like you said, bring some fun back into kink. How do
Yeah.
you keep a balance of being playful and erotic?
I'm not afraid to laugh at myself or have someone laugh at me, like in the heat of the moment, which is also important, I think.
Great answer. All right, great answer. So, all right, what are your clown inspirations? And I made it those two words with a question mark on purpose
Yeah.
because that could mean anything.
Yeah, well, my clown voice, I should say, kind of happened by accident. It's a mix of Lucy from Twin Peaks and Baby from House of a Thousand Corpses. And that just kind of meshed together. I don't really know. Because early on when I started doing clown videos, I hadn't found it yet. Like, I hadn't quite found the voice and found the character. But also, those are two really great ladies. So, I guess my clown inspirations. I don't know. It just goes back to like wanting to be able to do anything.
Yeah. How do you incorporate clowning into your scenes or your calls?
Well, if it's like a call or if it's like a webcam kind of experience, I mean, I'm always silly. Like, I never say anybody's name correctly. Like, that's kind of the joke. Is that like, especially if it's a live stream situation, like that's just.
Can you mispronounce my name?
My joke is that I'll pronounce it incorrectly, or I'll say, like, I'll put emphasis in the wrong place, and people usually either hate that or they just find me charming.
Miss Quinn, can you please mispronounce my name?
I don't think I can. Not even that I've got that. How do you pronounce that last name?
Tannic.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You can mispronounce Nicholas. All right. What's your opinion of baskets?
I only watched episode 1.
It's great. I highly suggest it.
The thing is, there's a book that I love. I
love books.
That is called Clown Girl, written by Monica Drake. And that show is suspiciously a lot like that book in a way that kind of makes me uncomfortable.
Oh.
And that's all I'm going to say. But I'm going to eventually watch more of Basket. Cause like, I didn't hate it, but maybe I just wasn't in the right mindset to watch. Cause doesn't it have like 3 seasons?
I think 2 or 3. Zach Galifianakis, I think, is a comic genius.
Yeah, I think I have to be in the mood for him. It could have just caught me on like a grouchy day. Yeah. But
all right, you made a video.
Clown Girl by Monica Drake is very good. It's also it's like sad, but it's good in a very dark sense of humor. Kind of like in a Chuck Palahniuk kind of way.
Oh yeah, I just saw the movie Choke.
That was such a good movie adaptation of the novel.
I thought so too.
Yeah,
I thought so too.
I love to read that book when I'm on a plane.
You know what? It's better. It's better the second time. The movie was better the second time too. Yeah. That's why I read it on a plane too, on the way to Chicago.
You're in the circuit.
remember when you had like books? I used to carry books. I used to travel. Oh my god, another life before the liver transplant.
Yeah.
Right. You have a video that says "Gooning is a stupid name for a fun thing."
It's the stupidest name ever. I hate it so much. Like, I'm sorry. And I was in the industry when people started talking about saying booty bouncing and they calling it twerking. I'm like, what is this ridiculous term? I hate it. This is stupid. And almost 13 years later, they're still doing it. And I hate the term gooning. It sounds so dumb. And anytime someone's like, oh my gosh, I'm gooning, or whatever they freaking say. I hate it. I'm just like, this has ruined
Oh,
everything.
have you heard of the OCs?
I don't think so. Okay, is it a
Like gooning, he goons in the daytime, he goons in the night. See what he's doing? I'm doing all right.
oh goodness.
Yeah, the OC is a great band. Great band.
Okay.
All right. So what other words can you come up with besides gooning?
I don't think it really gets narrowed down into one word. Like, just why does it have to be called that?
Yeah, like what other word? It's like but clowns goon, don't they?
Probably. Like, if it
Do
was a clowning thing, that would be different. But it just
do clowns goon?
I mean, I also take issue with people calling it a clussy, and like, I do not
Say
support
what?
that term. Clown.
Yeah. Okay. That's the first time I heard that.
Yeah, like, people were really saying that back. It was like 27. Excuse me, 20. Yeah, 2017, 2018. They're really trying, like, oh yeah, like, Quinn, you got that clussy. I'm like, excuse me, what? Like, but that's the word now. So
All right. It's getting late, and we still have a long way to go. We have a long way to go
it is
because you're
getting
about to
late.
turn into a monster. Let's talk about monster transformation.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm awake. Usually, I go
How
to
do you
bed.
describe having sex or doing anything sexual as a monster? I'm taking myself out for this one.
Oh well, my girlfriend Amy Mercury puts on the prosthetics.
Yes.
For me, the monster thing is like, I had mentioned earlier how I really like doing clown transformations for like videos and stuff. But the monster thing, like, wanting to have sex with a monster, just sounds great. I mean, everybody's losing their minds over the new Nosferatu, so it's clearly not just me that wants to shag the monster. Don't worry about bite marks.
That's on my list. I want to see that.
I haven't actually watched it yet either. But I don't know. I like it in my head a lot. Like, they're just so fun.
Now, are there sissy monsters?
Probably.
Does anyone know of any sissy monsters?
I don't know.
What would you do with a
what would
sissy
they dress
monster?
up as? Like, that sounds like fun. Maybe they'd have like a plush tail or something with like their little frilly dresses. That would be adorable. Aw,
Right?
get them on your tail.
That could be a thing. Why? Seriously, Pep Love. Do you have sissies called Pep Love?
Yeah.
Turn them into monsters.
Turn them into a monster.
They'll do what you say. So transformation. Please take us through the process of any transformation, whether it's even if it's emotional or whatever you're doing. I sent these questions, or I asked these questions to Amy Mercury, but I think that they should resonate with you in some way, right? So what is needed? What are materials do you need best? And this could be, yeah.
I mean, it if you're gonna do like the costume and everything, that's very, like, for me, I know when I do the clown or like a succubus or whatever kind of character I'm doing, it's like kind of a meditative process to put the makeup and the horns or the fangs in, and that's a big part of it. Like, what am I going to do? What am I trying to convey through this character? And that can be a lot of fun. But that's, more from like a performance. I God, what materials? Yeah.
Yeah. So, and how do you like mentally prepare?
Well, like I said, it also kind of it depends on if you're doing it like for like a performance or if you're just doing it with, like a lover or something, but it's still putting on the makeup or the pieces. I mean, Amy has gone above and beyond, like,
oh yeah,
so much. It's so
I highly recommend.
Like,
she did an episode here where I interviewed her and she did the whole transformation. It's pretty wonderful.
Did she do questions? Was it the werewolf or the Mojo Jojo?
Mojo Jojo.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's so cool that she's doing all that. I love it. I love that for her.
One of the questions I asked her, which is the same I'm going to ask you, what do you have to be concerned about during the process when you're transform.
I think finding the right mood that you want can be difficult. Like, what if you get all into it and you feel more in a silly mood, or if it's, you know, like for a video or something, it's like you want to do it right. Like there's a monster video that I did, oh my god, a decade ago now. Like now I'm just thinking about but it took a really long time because we use like airbrushing and like completely just changed like the look of my face, and it would makeup all over my whole body. And the time I finally got to making the art part of it, I was exhausted. And that was one where we ended up I finally got to be green slimed, and so that was just a fantastic art project that we me and my spouse and a good friend of ours worked on for about 12 hours.
It's funny that you say green slime, because I grew up on You Can't Do That on
You Can't Do It on television, with the slime.
Yeah. How do you so after, like, what you do is a performance, right? And what we do at the Manor, there's performance, there's a come down, there's a whole maelstrom of emotions, you know what I mean? So how would you describe the feeling when it's done?
Oh, it's very satisfying. Like, I'm a crier, so I'll cry about it. Like, even if
I tear up. I tear up often.
Yeah, like I mean, I never really realized how much I was a crier until like I was at a wedding and someone, like, I was getting my makeup done like for the wedding, and they're like, "Are you a crier?" And I was like, "Absolutely."
No.
Like, so they like did my makeup extra. So
another thing about Pep. Back to Pep is the sibling incest role play. Why do you? Yeah, this is the question. What do you think draws clients to this specific type of role play?
Okay, I have some thoughts actually. Because originally you were asking about like media influencing like clown stuff. I think media, especially these days, is influencing the the cest role play.
Really? Like, in what? What are some examples? Would you say?
Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Okay.
Every soap opera ever.
Yeah.
Like the Flowers in the Attic books, movie adaptations that keep coming out all the time.
Eat the Cookie Mother.
The taboo, just role play of it. People just really, they like that dramatic, like, oh, the forbidden love kind of thing. Talking about it as a role play, just, you know, people just tuning in. Yeah. We're talking about role play. We're not talking about it, you know. Anyway, just wanted to.
I have to admit that there is like, I enjoy the sissy narrative, the femdom, like a woman controlling me and you know, sexually controlling, you know, for her own pleasure. I like it's my thing. And every once in a while she throws the mommy, you know, like that whole the motherly out. It's just it's more of the comfort of someone taking care of you.
Sure.
You know what I mean? That I guess
it's
not something I practice. It's not something. It's not a kink that I'm into specifically. I'm not against it by any means, but the consensual. Everything we talk about is consensual.
Yeah, we're talking about role play.
Adults.
Yeah.
Role play, not real.
Yeah.
Christian Bale is not really Batman.
Yeah. Oh, but he looks so good in all that leather.
We should please someone just sample that, take that, put that into a beat. I need a theme song. We need a YCAP theme song. Come on, I know there are creative people out there. Get at me. All right.
I on that note of like not quite, you know, understanding something. Like I had a client. I haven't heard from a phone client actually that I haven't heard from in a while, but I'm sure they're doing fantastic. They're really into like pet play. And I don't understand that. Like, I'm not like in a mean way. Like, I literally don't understand it. And we had been on the call, and you know, we would have like our, you know, sexy scene together, and then just kind of shoot the shit, talk about life, kind of thing. And I was like, look, I really need to take like my dog out to go, you know, do his business. Is it okay if I leave you on the you know, if we keep you on the phone? He was like, of course. And you know, so we continued talking. I went outside, and like my dog did his business, and I was like, good boy, let's go in. Like, good job, let's go in. And he was like, that's what I'm talking about. And I was like, huh? And he was like, you just gave him a very sweet praise for literally just, you know, taking care of business. Like, and that's it. He's like, that's what I want. Like, just to be like, you know, you did a good job. Like, let's, you know, and by saying like you did a good job, it's like, oh, you know, like I love you, you're cared for, you're appreciated. Like just through like a praise like that in a, like, I assume obviously in like a pet role play scenario. And I was just like, oh, wow, okay. I can kind of get that now if you explain it to me like that. I mean, you know, I'm still not gonna be like, oh yeah, like be my dog or something, but just because, you know, I'm not into the pet play thing for myself. Oh, shame.
So shame plays a important role.
Yeah.
In the kink community, kink culture. Mm-hmm. Some people love it. Some people use it. Some people it kills them. You know? Yeah. There's a question that I always ask: what advice do you give to someone who's dealing with shame in their family?
Well, that's, I mean, like shame about your kink, like
yeah,
the family. Exactly. Like I guess my question Sexuality. Is like, why do they know that? Like what? You know, I think so. I think privacy is also important. Like not everybody. Yeah. You don't have to be accepted from like your mom and pops about like your diaper fetish or something. Well, like, you know.
Another thing I want to say though is kink helps kink. If you know someone and they're kinky and you're both kinky, first of all, don't dox them. That is the
of course
worst fucking thing to do. Don't call them out. You know, that is probably the uncoolest thing you can do.
Yeah, so, I don't have a. I can't even imagine like how that would come up, I guess. But like you know, it's everybody's got different experiences with their, you know, relatives and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I am. My family knows everything that I do. Yeah. I wrote 3 books. Oh, speaking of, buy them.
Absolutely.
Your kinky friends, chip black nail polish, and also, yeah, this is chip black nail polish. This is the coolest way to kill yourself. Wow, writing those books took me on quite a ride. You know, so the creativity. When I see you and I see all the creative things you do. That's inspiring. That keeps me going. I'm in recovery 3 years out of a liver transplant. What's it? I have a 75% chance of living 5 years. Right, I got 3 years in. I'm going for it. You know, and you people like you keep me going. So seriously. All right. So although it's taboo free, what are some protocols for uncomfortable calls?
Oh man, I mean, yeah, like some things can make you uncomfortable. I have found that if I am honest with like, let's say somebody brings up a subject that I either one can't really provide or just don't have any experience with, I will be polite about it and be like, is there a different subject that we can discuss? Or is there a way that we can, you know, because I want people to have a good experience, but I also want I want to have a good experience too. I want us to have to build something together. And we'll be honest about that, especially if it's something that I just don't have any experience in or any, like I love learning. Like that's another thing I think is really important.
Okay. So how do you do it? Sadism. Now, I know. Shout out to Giselle. I love Giselle. Oh, Giselle.
She's very fun.
What was the latest humiliating or sadistic thing that impressed you? Either you did it yourself or you saw somebody do it.
Oh, man. That is, I'm not quite sure. Can we come back to that one?
All right, yeah, sure.
That one.
Yeah. Think about that. Right. Lifestyle. Was there ever a time you felt burnt out or felt like you needed to kind of give up the kink lifestyle or change your life or change your mind?
I mean, yeah, like sometimes you just need a break. But honestly, like kink has always interested me, like even more so than you know, traditional sex or whatever. It kink helped me become interested in, you know, more traditional sex, I guess, if that makes sense. Like I mentioned earlier that, you know, it was presented to me very seriously and didn't sound like a whole lot of fun, you know, when I was growing up. So kink will always have a place in my life. Even if, you
Kink
know,
will
life
always have.
puts me in a situation where I can't always get the sort of sex that I want. Kink is always there. Wow, that sounded weird, but yeah, there you go.
No, that's a great quote. Platforms are going. Even like, for example, Twitter is X.
Mm-hmm.
There's, things are changing. It's one thing I've learned, just like the kink community. Parties end,
Yeah.
relationships end.
Mm-hmm.
People come and go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just like you see it just in social media in the feed. There's some people have the fire in them, and they're trying to express themselves. They take the time, they do it, and then they got to go away. For some
Yeah.
reason. I had to do that during the liver transplant. I tried. I did Your Kinky Friends all through the liver transplant. I looked like Gollum of Lord of the Rings. It was bad. I still did it, and people like you, people like Peplov, kept me going. I'll say that till the day I die.
That's great.
But they go. Platforms come and go. You're not
Yeah.
on MySpace or Friendster,
Oh, I miss
So what?
MySpace.
I met my ex-wife on MySpace. No, I didn't meet her. We got reunited through MySpace. Let's put it that way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So what platforms are you currently using, and what platforms do you think that could be the next thing that we should look out for?
I have no idea what the new thing will be.
What are you using?
What am I use while it's still with us. No, I use Twitter, X. I use Instagram, YouTube. I guess these technically aren't platform. Well, no, yeah, it is. I'm on
Yeah,
FetLife. I'm
you
on
can connect
FetLife.
with people, talk to people.
Say
Yeah,
what?
communication. You can connect with people. YouTube. You
Yeah,
could. Yeah,
I'm on. I don't use it that much, but I'm on like that Blue Sky, the
your YouTube
butterfly
channel is
thing.
great.
YouTube
Oh,
channel. Yeah.
I'll bring that up. I'll
Yes.
bring that. But first, here before we bring that up, right?
I'm
You can go to
also.
you can go to Your Kinky Friends, right?
Yeah.
And you can look up clown. This is a
All
very good friend of the show,
right.
Chastity Quinn. She comes in as clown, which
Mm-hmm.
is what she does is when she has subs, clowns sometimes can come in and cause mischief. Let's put it that way. This is pretty
That's
wild.
awesome.
So, what is your YouTube?
All of my socials and everything that exists on the internet with me is ThatMissQuin. Quinn with one N.
There it is.
There's me and Amy. Aw, look at us. How cute.
Fetish models discuss
Yeah, I
cosplay.
have a series called Fetish Models Discuss, which I really want to like keep do more of. Which
Do it.
Hmm?
Oh my god, I could introduce you to a bunch. I interviewed a bunch. I
Yeah,
interviewed a whole bunch. Oh my god, yeah. I'd let me just be a part of it. Let me help out,
that would be
please.
fantastic. Yeah,
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a excellent idea.
because there's just a lot of stuff like either in movies or games or whatever that can be very fetishy. Like I could talk about Baldur's Gate 3 for a million years about all the sexy stuff that's in that game, and I'd love to talk about it, preferably with somebody else that's played it before. I know some of my other pep ladies play. I know I'm throwing y'all under the bus. I know Giselle and Vivian play, so we could do a fetish models talk. All the things in BG3.
So we have a question. What's the last dream you remember?
Oh, this is. I had a nightmare about school last night that
Were you
I
late to French class?
huh?
Were you late to French class?
It's always the same dream that I'm in a class that I have clearly no memory of being at, and we have a huge ass project due on Friday, and I have
Yeah.
nothing prepared. And that dream, I swear, it's we just really get traumatized from like public school.
Yeah, I remember being that kid. Like walking into a group that I was unprepared, and I don't want to feel that feeling ever again.
No, it's terrible. And I was just like, what does this mean? Why am I always unprepared for this huge project? And
Yeah. So, all right, role play. What are some? You're creative. You're doing clown. You know, you have the stuff that is requested, but yeah. What are some new and interesting role play ideas that you want to do? Like if I come in here, pay a lot of money to,
oh
and
my
I go, Miss Quinn, please, 1 hour, do anything you want.
God. Well, I will say, like, I know this is for funsies, but I will say that I do only offer virtual play. So,
Okay.
Honestly, lately, I have kind of been dipping my toes into like submissive play, which is super new for me and fun. That is something I never thought I would be into. So yeah, and I also just recently learned that I have a praise kink, so that's fun for me.
You like praising people?
I like the
You like being
I want the
praised?
pat on the head and be told I'm a good girl, and that's just
Quinn, you are you are you are a legend. You are magnificent. You are not only beautiful, but you're creative. You like I said. Remember that fire I was talking about? That light that Sarah Miles have. I see it in you.
oh
So
well,
that's
thank you.
praise, and I mean it. It's genuine too.
No, I got it. I felt
So
it.
let's take this. Let's take it a step further. Okay,
Okay.
let's take it a step further. Let's say you have endless resources. You can go anywhere in the world with whomever you want, and you could do anything. Let your imagination run wild.
Oh my gosh,
What
that's.
is your ultimate kinky fantasy?
Oh man, I have been very fortunate to have lived a lot of my fantasies that I've had. But I do have a classic that just always comes up is me and all of my lovers, like my spouse, my girlfriends, the on again, off again lovers, all of us together. Maybe we're at an abandoned theme park and it's raining and we're all naked and have a bunch of clown makeup on that's getting kind of messy. And we all go into the fun house where there's the funny mirrors and maybe we all have sex in front of them and we can see our shapes be really weird in the mirrors, and maybe some of the mirrors get broken and it just gets all distorted and fun and nobody knows which way is up.
That was you couldn't see. I took myself out, but as you were saying that, especially the thing with the mirrors, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, that one's been expanded on a bit. But that one's recurring for sure.
All right, rapid fire recommendations. They don't have to be kink related.
Oh god.
It's all media stuff. Recommend a film. It doesn't. Oh, before you answer, it doesn't have to be the be all end all. It doesn't have to represent you as a person or
Yeah,
anything
the
like that.
film is.
It just has to be. Hey, recommend a film. I'll do it right now.
Do it.
I saw The Substance, which I thought that kind of
I've
sticks
heard
with
good
me.
things. I haven't seen it
It
yet.
sticks with me after I'm done, and I'm as a fan of horror movies and gore and stuff that's like gnarly. Yeah, it's good. It's well done. Yeah, and then I saw like weird low budget B movies like Frankenhooker. But I have to check out Bad Biology. Shout out to J Zone, Ari the Rugged Man, all the old hip hop guys. I used to do journalism. I used to basically do PR for. Yeah, they made a movie called Bad Biology, which is you like horror movies, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not just clowns. I like horror movies.
I don't want to ruin it for you. But it's I think it's from the guy who did Basket Case.
Okay.
And Basket Case holds a special place in my heart because it's from Jersey and I'm in Jersey. All right, rapid fire recommendations. Like I said, they don't have to be all end all. They don't have to represent you. Just something that you like or that you think maybe I'd like.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta say, I've had a blast today with my spouse and I rewatched.
Well, no, I didn't start. Let's start. Recommend a film.
Oh, gee, just all together. Well, today.
Yeah. No, it's a rapid fire thing. Rapid fire.
Today I did a rewatch of the Dark Knight trilogy, and I hadn't seen the third one since the first time I ever saw it, and it was better than like when it first came out in 2012.
That's like 10 hours. Wow.
All three of those were really fun.
No,
they're still fun.
Christopher Nolan, excellent. Oh my, incredible film. Actually, that got me back into the whole Batman myth. I kind of just I brushed it off. Like it tuned out, basically.
The whole reason, I'm so sorry I have to do this, but the whole reason why we hadn't watched those in a really long time, right? But I am on a Cillian Murphy phase because I've been watching Peaky Blinders, and like I had never watched that show before, and I'm kind of obsessed with it right now, and a movie's coming out next year, and so my spouse was like, yeah, I get it. You kind of have a crush on Cillian Murphy right now. We can watch the Batman movies.
28 Days Later is an amazing movie. He's incredible in that. Also, what was the movie where he plays the transvestite with
Breakfast on Pluto? Yeah.
Breakfast on Pluto, yes. Even when he was that Wes Craven movie where he's Red Eye. He's great.
It's so funny. I still have not actually seen Red Eye because when I was a teenager, I worked at a movie theater when before that movie came out. Like in the lobby, they would play the trailers over and over, and I was so annoyed. I could tell you that whole trailer, like I remember it.
It tells the whole movie, probably.
Yeah. And I was just like, this is super annoying. If I have to see it go in on his eye one more time. But yeah,
you could do a whole thing of just working in a movie theater.
Yeah, working in a movie theater was like still my favorite job. There was a time where my spouse and I almost got to have our own little movie theater, 2-screen cinema, but thankfully that didn't work out because everything shutting down would have destroyed us. So,
now I'm thinking weird videos. I'm thinking because we just did the fantasy thing.
Yeah.
What if there was a movie theater, but everybody works there were clowns? So the people who went there, some of them don't just want to see a movie. They don't want to do it. So shenanigans ensue. All right. Recommend a song.
Recommend a song. Oh my gosh. Too Sweet by Hoser, however you say their name. I love that song.
Recommend a book.
Clown Girl by Monica Drake.
And if I may, please pick up your kinky.
Absolutely. I gotta check out your books.
Recommend art. Any kind of art, any medium.
So my girlfriend, Amy Mercury, has a new project coming up called Professional Monster. And one of the characters is inspired by me. And I'm super excited for that project to happen. We've done a couple little voiceover things for little comic pieces. So go to her feed, Amy Mercury, or the Amy Mercury Professional Monster, combination of words. Keep an eye out for that because that's going to be super fun. And I'm very excited.
I'm excited for that. That sounds so cool. I love the fact that you two are teaming up to do just the inspiration, inspiring each other is beautiful. It truly is. All right, recommend a meal.
A meal?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm getting hungry.
I've been obsessed with Scotch eggs lately.
What's the difference between? I'm not familiar with Scotch eggs.
It's sausage with wrapped around a soft-boiled egg.
Oh, okay. All right.
They're very good.
So now is the point where you like getting a little silly, right?
Of course.
We're gonna play the word association game.
Oh gosh. Now. Okay. Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm gonna say a word or a phrase that's kink related.
Okay.
And you say the first thing that pops into your head. Okay. So let's say if I say chastity, you could say lock, right?
Yeah. No, I got it.
But let's say I say chastity. You're not thinking of that. You're thinking of Scotch eggs. You could say Scotch eggs. There's no wrong answer. Okay.
All right.
One thing, the only rule is that we don't kink shame. So if you're not, I'm going to say something. We don't kink shame.
Oh, of course not. Yeah.
Right. So just if I'm going to say something, and trust me, I'm going to say some things that are not my thing. And
Sure.
all you got to say is not my thing. Right.
Yeah. No, I got it.
But there's more. The jar. So this is the jar. Shout out to Mistress Natasha. She inspired me to redo the jar, originally done by Tangled Blue. Oh, Tangled Blue, I miss you. This is, I don't know what's in this jar. I don't know. There are pieces of paper, and I'm gonna pull them out, and so I'm flying blind, just like you. We're in this together.
Okay. I'm scared.
All right, and I got some up here. Don't be scared. This is fun. Come on, you're a clown.
I know. I can still be scared.
All right. We're gonna try to go rapid fire. We're gonna fail miserably. It'd be fun.
Yeah. Probably.
Spanking.
Awesome.
Riding crops.
Yes, please.
Mommy doms.
Oh no, thank you.
Financial doms.
Give me all that money.
Brutally sadistic doms.
Should wear clown makeup.
Clown doms.
The best.
Garters.
Yes.
French maid outfits.
Only if it's latex.
Strap on dildos.
Yes. All the
butt plug.
Maybe sometimes.
You can say down the words besides yes or no. Maybe. All right, this is good. Scarification.
Yes. Can I look at them?
Splashing.
Yes. Very messy. Always great.
Medical play.
Ooh.
Shout out to Stan Vladimir.
Yes.
Teacher's pet.
You. Teacher's pet. Yes. I'm not doing good at this word association thing. This is like a
first word that pops into your head.
Like a red light, green light situation. I'll try to do better.
Ball gags.
Overrated.
Okay.
But they also look like clown noses. They look like severed clown noses. It creeps me out.
They hurt my teeth.
Yeah. Not a fan.
They look cool though.
Yeah, they do. Like, yeah, I have like a jaw issue, so it just kind of makes me think of like pain.
Yeah.
Not the good kind of pain, but like
yeah. I'm not a fan. But they, like I said, they look. I'm a fan on someone else. That's great.
Yeah, like a candy one. A candy ball gag would be nice.
Oh, you have cavities. Worry about that. Oh, I think about dentist bills all day. Bondage.
Only balloon bondage. Thank you.
Ooh. Balloon bondage. Oh wait, I gotta like write that down.
Yeah, like it's fun because like the twisty balloons that we make balloon animals with can make really great. I mean, obviously, you know, if you struggle, they're gonna pop and it's gonna hurt. You don't want that, and then it makes that like noise. Wow, I'm really sorry.
And they kind of, they're easy to break out of your balloon.
Yeah, but like it'll pop and it's gonna hurt your skin.
Mm-hmm.
The point is to be still.
Yeah. Okay. So, okay. Ooh. All right. We're reaching into the jar.
Oh gosh.
I don't know what's in the jar. Uh-oh. Breeding.
Oh no. Okay. It's only hot in fan fiction.
Okay.
In my opinion.
It's only hot. So like all right, we have to go there for a second. All right. So who would you want to breed who? Would you want like Batman?
I'm gonna pass on that.
Would you want like, what about you mentioned Batman and Game of Thrones. So would you want like Peter Dinklage to like breed little Batman souls? He's as a chess player, if you think about it, he'd be so powerful. Oh
my god.
All right, let's go to another one. All right. Lingerie.
Lingerie, yes. I think everybody can look good in lingerie if they take care of their booty. Do some squats, and your booty will look great in the lingerie. Vibrating butt plugs. Yes. I don't usually like internal vibration, but
Nah.
butt plugs.
Splashing. Did we do
Yes.
splashing? We did splashing.
I've done it only once. Well, no, that's not true. I've done it with like shaving cream and stuff, but I did once upon a time, early in the clowny days. They're no longer a performer anymore, but that's one thing about like being in the adult industry for so long is that you meet so many people and so many people leave and you're still there, just like, hey, remember once upon a time we did this? Anyway, this lovely class came
Like we
over.
were talking about, people can come and go into your
Yeah.
life. It's that's
We,
what this is all about. Actually,
we got a bunch of like pie tins and like cake batter, and it was different colors, and we did like slimed it everywhere, and I had a insane like sugar rush afterwards because all the stuff was like soaked into my skin, and so I was like shaking.
now,
it was pretty wild.
Let me ask you this. So that's technically you would consider yourself a splasher?
Oh no, like that was kind of like the let's have the experience, I don't need to do this again.
Okay.
kind of thing. But I like watching other people do it. Like I've done live streams where
it is messy.
we'll do like cam to cam and the person will like smash their face with pie or something. That's fun.
All right, we have two more to get through, and these are kind of like obligatory. All right.
Okay.
They come at the end. No pun intended. Piss.
Yeah, not my thing. I know that it's
All right, scat.
Also, like, just no, thank you.
Yeah. All right, so let's cheer things up. What are some ways kinky people can unite and help each other out? Before you answer, we're living in stressful times, changing times now. My father always told me, and I love my father, very wise man. The only constant in life is change, right? So that makes me think that, a lot of us in the community, sometimes we're all we have, right? And so what ways can kinky people unite and help each other out?
I think showing more compassion and more understanding.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way.
Yeah. And that goes to another thing. You are a kinky person. Not everybody is as beautiful as you are, though. But how can kinky people make money? You're a lot more than beauty. Your talent, your creativity, everything. But not everybody has the whole package like you do. You know what I mean? So they have to find other ways.
Well, the thing about having this kind of job is that you do learn that people find a lot of different things sexy. Like, yes. I mean, I'm conventionally, I guess, what someone would say attractive, but there's everything about people find attractive. Like it's somebody's gonna find something attractive.
Yeah.
I mean, you get like, unfortunately with this kind of gig, you do get like people that aren't very kind, and some people are downright hateful, but it's I've noticed more positives than negatives. I mean, if it's not something you feel really comfortable with, like don't. Like, don't try to
go with your gut
to make money. Like that's not. If it's something that you you truly feel comfortable with, and you want to share with people that way, like, yeah, give it a try. But if it's something that is going to hurt your heart, if somebody says something mean to you, like, I just don't do it. Like, you don't hurt yourself that way.
So Stan Vladimir has a question I think is a good way to kind of slowly end it. We have one or two more questions after this, but if you could have any superpower, what would it be, and how would you use it in your kinky
Oh my
life?
goodness. Shape shifting. Thank you for the question. Shapeshifter, of course. I want to be anyone and everyone.
This Quinn, we're all, looking for something. What do you want? Where do you want your kinky path to take you next?
I'd like to keep learning things about myself. Like, like I just said recently, or that I just learned very recently about dipping my toes in like the submissive stuff, or like that I have a praise kink, or like I also recently learned I have a size kink that I was not aware of. I want to keep learning things about myself, and because it's sometimes a lot of us enjoy like the same kind of fantasies, or like we'll just go to a certain memory or something that just is really great. And you can kind of feel like, well, is that it? Is that the most fun I'm ever going to have ever? Like, what else is there? And you never know what's going to do it for you. Like, I mean, a silly cartoon made me think of like, oh, being called a good girl sounds really hot. I kind of want somebody to call me a good girl and pat me on the head. And it was literally just from a cartoon. So, you never know where it's going to come from.
What? Okay, let me ask you this before we end. My queen, I love very much, and I'm very loyal to, and I serve well. She is short, right? And there is that. So let me ask you this: there is a sense of comfort. I feel comfort of getting praise and acknowledged and getting a pat on the head, whether it's emotional or physical. You know what I mean? So why do you feel that you search for that so much? What is it about that kind of that you feel that you're looking for?
Oh man. Well, I mean, I'll just be totally honest. Like sometimes
Please.
this kind of job can feel like you're not, but when it's your job or whether it's your fantasy or something, like you can kind of feel like, oh, maybe this is wrong. So sometimes I did something good today, or I like the reassurance of like, oh, this is actually a good thing, or I made somebody's
Yes.
life better today,
Yes.
like, because I was there to talk to you about. It's just kind of nice, like because you kind of, it's isolating. Like I work from home.
Miss Quinn, you
Yeah.
inspire people. You do. Your creativity inspires people. We're talking right now. People are watching. They're getting ideas. Hopefully they're getting, their
Good.
life together, thinking some creative to do, to affect someone else. That's what artists do. Thank you for being with us. So with this, I want to ask you to fill in the blank.
Mm-hmm.
Life is,
An adventure.
yes. Ms. Quinn, how can people support you? How can people reach out to you? Call you?
Yeah. Like I said, my social media, like all the social media is ThatMissQuin. That's Quinn with one N. I have different links to things, like on my Instagram. There's like fun stuff and a little bit of serious stuff, the aforementioned GoFundMe. But my X account has like all the more adult kind of stuff, if that's what you're interested in. The YouTube is kind of more for horror stuff, more for talking about media things.
Yes.
So it's not all adult stuff all the time, but goodness. It is, so only adult
Everybody, please check out yourkinkyfriends.com. Listen to the podcast on Spotify. Subscribe. We have there's stuff. This will be on Spotify. This is going to be off YouTube. Taking this off, and it's on Spotify. You have to join. You have to join the paywall. It's incredibly cheap. And I'm putting all the exclusive stuff, all the back stuff. We're going to take off YouTube. So please do that. But it will be on YouTube next week. I don't know. That's how we do things. and we have big plans. This is
Yeah.
wonderful. Like seriously, I can't really talk about them, but
I'm excited to see where it goes.
oh yes, and I would love Miss Quinn and the ladies of Pop Love, and say please tell Sarah and Amy and Giselle and Vivian. Oh my god, and Cherry and all of them. I love them all. They keep me going. Seriously, just knowing them, I feel like the coolest guy in the world. Seriously, um, everybody, please read a book. Read 3 books.
Yeah.
Yeah, reading is seriously the internet. I don't know. It's just. It's good to back away a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes read a book. I wrote a book, all a tribute. If you're dealing with grief, this helped me. This is a story of how the kink community saved my life. The coolest way to kill yourself. 20 years, a tribute to love of my life. It's filled with hard drugs, kinky sex, and an endless amount of music references. Yeah. And then there's like my coming of age, the very first time I ever fell in love. Chip Black Nail Polish, about New Jersey underground punk rock scene. They all are together, but they're all standalone. Read a book. What else? Of course. How can I forget this? Get 15% off all inventory at Locked and Lust with offer code YKF. I'm locked in chastity right now. Yeah, I had garter belts and stockings. I got let out. Wow, did I prove myself? Like late at oh my god, I'm chastity play is fun with the right people.
Yeah.
It really is. It's like it's romance. I'm trying to bring romance into chastity. Check out the Spoon Thieves episode we did. Locked and Lust. We have a Patreon. A lot of stuff we're gonna go on Patreon, patreon.com, and of course your kinky friends. Everybody, please get inspired, be creative, but most importantly, be cool, be kind, keep an open mind. Love you. I love you all. It's going to be a great week. Take care. Bye.